podcast. Okay.
Hello, YouTube. It's K2 Karama, and this is the Philosopher Stonecast, episode 8. Um, this is a philosophy podcast where we talk about anything and everything. And today we're just gonna go with the flow, I guess. We got a couple of people here. What should we call you? I forgot your name. Sorry. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh, are we talking?
Yes.
Hi. Yes.
And we got Kenny
Howdy.
and Justin, but he seems to be gone. Yeah, he's on call. He'll be back soon. Just a quick disclaimer: we might have some strong language in this podcast, and that's about it. So, Kenny, do you have any topics you want to bring up first?
Well, yeah, you gave me that video earlier about there was a man who was discussing about money and the stock market and everything like that, and he was talking about how basically it's being used to transfer the wealth from the ordinary citizens into the hands of the select few, and he was talking about the performance of the stock market itself, and he was talking about how there was going to be another Great Recession, and that once again, uh, bad investment tools were being abused, and that a lot of companies were building up a lot of bad debt, and that eventually, once again, what was going to happen, what happened in 2008, what happened in the 1990s, what happened in the 1980s with junk bonds, is going to happen again. And what I found, and I buy stocks. I have a few stocks in my portfolio. I'm not very rich, so there's not a whole lot, but it was funny because the man was talking about how money isn't important. The importance of money is put on us. It's like forced on us, perception wise, by media companies. But you could tell he was a very materialistic person. He had designer glasses on. He had a designer watch, designer shirt. He had a designer haircut. And he was trying to make the point that money is like going to be the end all of civilization. I mean, you get off money somehow.
So, do you think moving into a all digital credit system where depending on what you do is how much you're worth, and however much you're worth you get access to certain things? I don't know.
Well, no, I mean, he was making the point that we have to move basically off this
I mean, that's
monetary
pretty
based
much what
system.
your credit score is. People with bad credit struggle a lot more than people with good credit.
Yes,
Like,
and that's because they
to do
encourage us.
anything, even to get jobs or even trying to get a loan or anything. It's difficult to get a home.
Well, because you don't want the person who is going to buy that home, obviously because of the fact that housing prices have gone triple, tenfold up, that they obviously can't afford to pay $200,000 when they're making less than $30,000 a year, which most people are.
Yeah.
I think the median income for the United States is like 35,000 now.
Yeah.
And you can't obviously expect that person. You obviously want them to buy the house because the housing market is a very telltale strength. It's a very telltale sign of the strength of the economy. So you want more housing buys. You want the younger generations, us millennials, 85 to mid 90s born. You want them to buy houses. Um, and they aren't. I mean, they want to, but they aren't because they don't have the income. But they still place this importance on the credit score because that tells you the person's likely ability to pay that mortgage over the years. The 30 years that usually you get a 30-year mortgage, but that's basically what it is. And so when you have a monetary system like we have now, a credit score is important because it tells you that this person is not going to incur large debts. They're not likely going to go into bankruptcy. They're not likely going to you're not going likely going to have to foreclose on a house, which means that bank is holding on to this type of toxic asset that is really taking money away from them because you got maintenance, you have taxes that they have to pay, and everything like that. So I mean, credit scores are important, but in some ways, like his point was that you have to get off the monetary system because this importance put on money, this importance on just basically trying to provide the basic materials like food, water, shelter, and everything like that, medicine, healthcare, is going to be the downfall of American or any American human society.
Yeah, it sounds pretty insane.
And I hear people talk about this. They talk about we should go back to a barter system. You know what that is?
Yeah, where you trade for equal things, or
Or
like
Bitcoin.
food for service or something like that.
Like you were talking about digital, like that's Bitcoin, right?
Yeah, pretty much Bitcoin type of stuff. And
And
yeah,
and I also, but I
it,
also there was
I
a
think it kind of is moving towards that way. It's becoming more and more popular. And, it's tax free, so a lot of people are using it.
right, and before the controversy where basically I forget what the site was called, but basically the site stole they stole Bitcoins from people, they stole that money from people.
Mhm.
It was like one of the head Bitcoin exchange sites, and they actually like they stole money, they laundered money from people. Once that stopped, you saw a lot of companies that were once supporting, like you could use Bitcoins to buy pizza, you could buy clothing, coffee in certain places. They stopped using that after that fraud happened,
Mhm.
and now it's starting to come back a little bit more. There's a little more confidence in it.
Yeah, I
But
remember like the first thing that somebody bought was like with bitcoins was a pizza, and they spent like it was 10,000 bitcoins. Back then it was only like $10, $12 or something like that. But now those 10,000 bitcoins are worth like millions of dollars, almost close to billions.
yeah, I
It's
mean,
a
it's
lot, yeah.
it's hard to like when you have like you have sci-fi like Star Trek. You have Star Trek, and they don't use money, right?
Mhm.
Supposedly, your wealth is determined by how you live your life. Do you reach your fullest potential?
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
How
that's
much you're worth,
so
pretty
you
much.
yeah that's your worth. Your worth is your the work you put into yourself, the work you put into your career, the work you put into helping others, and that's your worth. Instead of being like what do you own for a car, what do you own for a house, what's your job, what's your income, what's your education, all that stuff doesn't matter. So you have that one example where it's like, oh, we really wish we had that, because you don't have to pay for healthcare. You never see them having to worry about food. You never see them having to worry about shelter. Though I was kind of curious to learn how they bought houses. But you have you have that example of like what's possible, and then you have today where majority of people have hundreds of thousands of dollars in student debt. They literally have to put themselves in poverty just to afford a basic three bedroom house because the housing prices again have soared.
Yeah.
Even though it's gotten smaller, believe it or not, houses have gotten smaller. Even places like San Francisco, and you got places like San Francisco, you got places like Washington, even Atlanta now. It's starting to become you get these very small places, and the rent is just enormous. It's 12, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, and it's crazy. So you have these various examples. It's mostly in fiction stories and everything like that, where you have the system set up where there's no money whatsoever. You don't have to like break your back trying to make an income. You just basically you live your life the best way you can to the fullest. Your basic freedom in some ways. Um, so I mean, I can't really blame the guy in the video who was saying that we need to take the importance off of money. But I think I think his targeting of the stock market is wrong in some ways. Like he was saying, he was pointing to the recent sell-off. It went from 17,500 all the way down to
Yeah.
15,600, which is quite a drop. I think they said that the market lost $2.2 trillion market cap. Um, but they don't realize is that there is normal bear markets and there's normal bull markets. Bull markets usually last more than bear markets because nobody likes to lose money over the long term. But his thing was is that he was putting too much importance on what basically is a big popularity voting machine. Um, and it's not going to crash. There's no crash coming. You don't have companies buying junk bonds. They're not buying mortgage-backed securities. They're not buying companies with no earnings, which was the '90s internet bubble. Um, you don't have these things happening. So I disagree with him with that. And I also saw that he was a materialistic person, telling everyone that they should give up their importance to money. So it was just a few things I had wrong.
Kenny, who is it that you're speaking about again?
Chris gave me a video at the very start of this, and let me see.
Okay. I'll have to read that afterwards.
Actually, if you can send it to her again, it's from AMTV, Christopher Green.
Oh, okay. I'll
Yeah.
have to put that in and keep it as a tab.
Yeah, and he was basically talking about the Matrix, like we're living in the actual Matrix, and it's being led by media, it's being led by corporations, it's being led by the richest percent. Who are basically placing this importance of money on us, in that we should get off of it.
There's a problem if you apply skepticism to anyone who makes claims like that. While there is a problem in the financial sector, no doubt,
Yeah.
it's not consciously led.
No.
It's just bad practice, is all it is.
Yeah, I mean, I bought into solid companies with solid earnings, and even though I don't have a large account, I mean it's less than 1,000, I dropped $70, which is a lot. But I mean, I held companies that weren't actually affected by the stock market, but it was because of this insane fear. It's the same thing with insane buying. It was insane fear that caused the market to dip even further, because all you heard from places like CNBC was that the sky was falling, the sky is falling, the sky is falling. So you had, and that was all it was. But he took that market crash, which happened also in October of last year. It happened in August of last year. It happened in January of last year as well. He took that and he put it into his argument as if it was a factual statement.
Okay, well,
still,
okay?
Everything is like, I don't know. You just have to. I mean, I put it in the chat so you can watch it, dude. And I don't think you watched it. So.
I watched all 15
I mean,
minutes.
I'm talking about Justin.
Here. Oh.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, that. I mean.
No, but I gleaned enough from what Kenny was saying to grasp a vague understanding of what the guy's saying.
Yeah, and I get what you thought initially, but it's a little bit more than that.
No, but
he actually makes. I mean, you just gotta watch it. The core, some of the stuff he says is not, it's not true, but at the end of the video, he wraps it up pretty good.
Yeah, but my problem is when people go around saying things that aren't true, then however they wrap it up, it's just pretty present with crap in it.
Yeah, like he was talking about the fact that he thinks that the Fed is basically going to go to negative interest rates, despite the fact that this whole entire time they could have done that. They could have easily. Janet Yellen could have easily done that this whole entire time, but she didn't. She is really actively involved in trying to raise rates, but she's cautious. She wants to make sure there's enough auto sales, there's enough home sales, there's enough employment, there's enough wage increase, and everything like that. And so he was giving this opinion that we're going to go to negative interest rates, and it's because the Federal Reserve is assuming massive debts, and it's not going to happen. They did the bailout program, and that was them assuming all the negative debt from the mortgage-backed securities that are being secured in 2008. They did do that. They did do that. They assumed all the debt, all the bad debt. They did that, but they're not going to do it again. Because it also it hurt them in some ways, because they before they didn't have any assets, they didn't have any liabilities. Now they have trillions in assets and trillions in liabilities. They're not going to do it again. They can't. But they're not going to also go in negative interest rates. It's not in their interest. They hold a huge amount of bonds, and bonds don't do well in negative interest rates or low interest rates. They don't.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not going to do it. And he was worried about going below $10 a barrel of oil, which is understandable. But if you look at it, you have more fuel efficient cars. You have European nations that are switching to more solar, more wind, and nuclear in some ways. You also have more cars going over there, more diesel, more electric. And even in the United States, there's actually been more job growth in the solar sector than there has been in the oil sector. It's 22% year over year for the past couple of years. The amount of growth in solar jobs. So it's not
Doesn't
that.
surprise me.
So it's not that like oil itself is going to cause the market to crash. No, it's being phased out as it should be. It's a dying industry. But you also have these countries who built their wealth on this oil, and they don't have any other resources really. You got Saudi Arabia, Iran, you got Iraq, you got all these Middle Eastern countries that rely on this oil, and they're just producing because they know that we'll cut back we'll cut back because our companies don't want to fail. Our companies don't want to go bankrupt. And that's what's happening. But it happens every single time oil goes from $100 a barrel down to 30. It's not like it hasn't happened before.
Yeah.
So I just think he was being a Debbie Downer.
But I still think that money makes a lot of people stress out and pretty much go crazy.
It's not necessarily the money; it's the means that the way you have to go about getting it.
Yeah.
Stresses people out.
I was just reading. There was a lottery winner in Georgia that got shot.
Yeah.
In his home because they were trying to, I guess,
lottery laws.
They were trying to get his money, I guess, or something. I don't know.
Well, that's the problem with Georgia's anonymity thing, like where they don't let you be anonymous. Why is that the case? You give somebody a lot of money, and then you are like, okay, world, here they are.
And
because it's an advertisement.
It wasn't really that much money. It was only like 400,000.
That's nothing at all. Yeah. That's nothing at all. That's pennies.
Yeah, I mean, to die for that.
What? I
like,
brought down the wrong thing.
Like, there's only about 6 states, I think, that don't require you to give your identity after you're winning the lottery. I think it's only like 6. I don't know what they are, but I think it's only 6 states now that say that you can remain anonymous after winning the lottery.
Yeah, you have to pay like a lot of money. Getting a weird buzzing noise.
I should have muted my microphone while talking.
Let's move on to something else now. I don't know. What do you guys want to talk about?
Did you guys know? Did you guys hear? I'm sorry, I don't mean to take over the conversation. But, they're actually gonna turn on one of the first nuclear power plants again. It began producing power in 1996. It was started construction in 1973, but they stopped it obviously due to costs and due to the fact that oil took over. But they're about to start up. They're about to start up a nuclear reactor. It was one of the there's 2 nuclear reactors. One was incomplete. The other one actually started producing power, but they're actually about to turn the other one on now.
Sure.
I don't know about you guys, but I do think nuclear is an alternative energy. I see it as an alternative energy.
Yeah, and they had like a breakthrough on starting them up a lot easier or something
Fusion.
like that.
Yeah, it was fusion.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm talking about nuclear fission. The big huge smokestacks you see. And I think like you have to obviously it's the newer designs. They're smaller, more efficient. They can actually.
That's one that they've been using in France, right?
Yeah. And they're also
be as dangerous as the ones that like in Fukushima.
Right, they're not because a lot of those nuclear reactors were built in the 1970s. Even Fukushima was a 1970s, 1980s design reactor, and they're very cumbersome. They're large. They produce a lot of waste. But you have like newer nuclear reactors. You also have things called LFTRs, a liquid thorium reactor, and it can actually consume the nuclear waste from conventional nuclear reactors and use it
Oh
as
yeah, it keeps reusing the.
yeah, and it's a lot safer because it operates at atmospheric pressure, so it can implode, which is very important. It also doesn't need water to cool
Yeah.
it down. It uses air, and there's a safety feature that like if there's something happens, there's a molten salt plug that's hardened when it's working, but when like let's say electricity is shut off, the fuel heats that molten salt plug and it disappears, and all the bad radioactive fuel drains into this big huge concrete reinforced bin that stores all the contaminated fuel, and then the plug rehardens and it can't get out.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds like a way better alternative. You also won't be blowing up mountains to get coal, so that's a plus.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
mountaintop removal. I hate that.
I mean, what are the downsides to using nuclear energy that we should be worried about?
The storage of the waste. Now, if you can find a place to properly store it, then it's fine. Problem is that you need a non-seismic active place, relatively flat land, and not anywhere near inhabited areas. That's very hard to find.
I wish we
You
could
also,
just.
you also have to find a certain type of hardened rock
shoot it into
in order
space.
to store it.
Yeah, I also was about to say that. Yeah, I wish we could just like transport it like somewhere in like some vast void in this deep
Yeah,
dark
only-
space.
Only that was provided to us.
I mean, odds are that if you shot it in any particular direction, it'd end up orbiting something.
Yeah, but like if we could transfer it like you know, kind of like a wormhole type of thing, where it transferred to just another part of space, like somewhere
You could do that,
where,
but this
where
wormhole
we'll
would
never
take
be able to
time.
go. Yeah.
All you'd have to do is shoot it into space in a general direction, and it would keep going, and eventually get somewhere.
Hmm.
It's like the place that you're talking about getting to would eventually get there, but the wormhole you're talking about is called time.
He's got you there.
Well, I mean, the faster it would go, the closer you could actually get to calling it that. But
Humans have very funny ways of thinking. I was like, oh, just shoot in the sun. It'll be fine.
well,
Burn that
thought
shit.
about like if you shoot it into the sun, what happens then? Eventually, you're going to like change the composition of the sun.
Right, but that was our idea. That was our idea back in the 70s and 80s when there was a
Just-
buildup of this waste. They were
Just
like, oh,
like dump it
first
in a
idea was
public
to
pool, it'll be okay.
just in the ghetto somewhere. You know, those kids are okay anyways.
Yeah. They'll be all right.
They'll be all right.
They'll
They don't know
have
what it
extra. They'll have extra limbs. They'll make them. Let them.
And
play their
maybe we
sports
shouldn't
a lot
shoot
better.
it into space. We should build a trail-based elevator that uses a latch hook system, which is basically a satellite that sits in space that has a hook system that comes down far enough into the atmosphere.
A space elevator.
Yeah, but then it transports the waste up to this outer space catapult that then catapults it, because that would be, in my mind, better.
Yeah, the humans can throw their shit just like they used to way back then.
Yeah.
You guys should contact Stephen Hawking about this idea.
He's being a little
About
annoying
a space
bitch to me
catapult?
lately.
We want to build a space
AI is
catapult.
gonna kill us all. It's like, shut up, Stephen Hawking. Okay, you know what? Someone shut off that computer program to listen speak.
Dude, Stephen Hawking is brilliant.
I like him, but he's being too negative nowadays. He's being too. Everything's gonna destroy.
That's a real concern.
Sometimes
I feel like
you
that's
have
a real
to.
concern that we should worry about now. I don't know. Did you guys not see Ex Machina? That movie like scared the shit out of me.
That's a really good movie.
Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's Machina.
Machina.
It's,
Yeah.
I can't pronounce words. But no. Yeah. No, I actually haven't seen it. Is it still on Netflix?
It's not on Netflix, but
I
I
haven't
don't
seen
know.
it, by the way. I don't even know what it's about.
You can like stream it illegally, and it's pretty easy to do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But
It's
what?
worth watching. I think you should definitely look into it.
Oh,
I
he's
mean, have you
gone.
seen like modern robots that are being created now? It's insane how realistic they look.
I like going on YouTube and looking at like um, videos of androids that people are working on and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, basically in the movie, I can't remember the name of the test that the robot had to pass, but um, what is it called? Justin, what's it called? Are you there?
What's what called?
What's the name of the test that the robot had to pass before
Um,
being released or whatever? Released. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
I know what you're talking about, but I forgot the name of it too.
are you talking about Asimov's like test that, or are you
No,
talking about? Are
when
you
the
talking
guy
about where they
when the
detect for
when
AI?
to meet the robot, she had to go through a certain test where she like
Turing
read
test.
Yeah, something
through it.
like
Yeah. She had
Is
to
it,
read
is it
his
Turing test?
facial expressions and stuff like that. You know, another thing that I've heard about that's like really creepy to me is that one day our computers are going to be able to monitor our facial expressions and
I mean, that's already happening.
Yeah,
yeah,
technically, the government
I'm
can
gonna
look
start
into
doing
your
this.
webcam.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Snowden mentioned that. Snowden showed that on Vice. He was like, they can actually hack your webcam and view you without you knowing.
Yeah. That's why I stick my webcam up like this when I'm not using it.
Look at that ceiling.
Yeah.
I don't know. What I tend to do is like, I don't know. It's still pointed at me at all times. They can see whatever I'm doing in front
Yeah, I
of
was
my
gonna say
computer.
something that I'll probably regret saying on like a live podcast, but one time like I took a nude picture just for myself for fun, and my phone turned off. This phone was fully charged. It completely turned off, and when I like turned it back on, the picture was gone. I was like, don't know what happened there, but that was kind of
That's
terrible.
odd.
It's out there in the
When
cloud.
did this happen? At what point in your life? Like
That
when you were
happened last
younger? Oh, last year. Okay, never mind.
You're good.
Like who doesn't do
I was
that
about to say.
usually?
Like, what if like this? I was gonna say if it was when you were younger and still living with your parents, they have like a cell phone plan where like they
No, I
monitor
mean, it was
that.
weird because it happened instantly, and then throughout that like same month, my phone just started like doing weird things. If I took a picture, my phone would just turn off. It's like
Sounds more like a hardware issue.
it probably was, but I think that it's a weird coincidence that the first time it happened, it was when I was nude.
Oh,
Isn't that kind of weird? I don't know.
Someone's like, I'm
I
keeping this
mean,
for myself.
Yeah, and then I was like, what the fuck? The government's after me. I'm not even that interesting. Why are they going after me?
I don't know. Does anyone else ever have odd paranoid delusions that slightly enter your brain, but you instantly realize are completely invalid?
I
What do you
think if
guys want?
anyone's seen The Truman Show, like, yes, definitely. That show really scared me for the rest of my life.
Sometimes I've felt going throughout my life like, what if like
What if?
the the the, the the best way to describe it is you've seen the World's End, right? With
I
where where they go back to their hometown, the Cornetto trilogy movies.
no, I haven't seen it. I'll put it in.
Um, or it's at World's End, or is it the World's End? I
No,
think
it's
it's
a
at
World's
World's End.
End. No,
Is
it's
it the one with Simon Pegg in it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's a pretty good movie.
Okay, but I imagine it more like, what if I'm the research subject?
that shit freaks me out. Have you seen? Oh my God, what is that movie where people in the military are being like controlled and they have like these RFID chips in their brain?
Avatar?
No. Oh my God, I have to find it and see if you guys know it.
There have been so many movies like that,
Sounds
though.
familiar.
It's a
I know
fear
the
of
next movie was
technology.
upstairs.
Have you guys watched Chappie?
Not yet, but I love the Antwoord. I want to see it.
It's
What
pretty
people
cool.
don't realize is if we were able to successfully synthesize artificial intelligence
Yeah.
in the way that we call intelligence, where it has parameters that it can set and overcome, where it has emotional drivers, we have them because we evolved this way. It's possible for an organism to operate without all of the empathetical subsets that we have as humans. But I don't fear technology. If there was ever an opportunity for me to get something implanted in my brain that made my brain calculate more quickly, I would do it in a heartbeat.
What? You want some software in your brain that might
Yes.
like take away your free will?
No, I don't have free will in the first place. What makes you think you
Okay,
do?
but like you have your own free thoughts at least.
I mean,
Well, every thought that you have comes from an external stimuli that you had no control of.
I get where you're coming from,
The
Oh,
government shut them down.
and I would totally become a cyborg. Definitely.
There's actually a group of people out there who call themselves the Borg, who are actually trying to transform humans
humanism.
into the Borg.
Definitely. I want to enhance my eyes.
Keep
I don't
my
want to wear
part-
glasses anymore.
I mean, even just having your kind of like being a cyborg in a way, like I don't know. Have you guys ever read Nicholas Carr? Who writes "Is Google making us stupid?" He like basically proposes that all of this like automation is completely like we're not like left to our own devices anymore. We're kind of all at the mercy of like having some sort of technology to help us get by.
No,
Yeah.
but what it exposes, though, is the truth of the matter. Is first off, humanity's always been stupid in some regard,
Mhm.
and it's gotten better.
They always have
Since we
to be the smart ones.
People tend to be more educated, which means they can at least talk with each other without killing each other, usually, as often. If we were still as uneducated as we used to be and we dealt with the population levels that we are currently dealing with, we probably wouldn't have the population level we're currently dealing with because a lot of us would kill the rest of us off.
Can you say that again? I didn't hear what you said.
I said that if considering our population level today,
Mhm.
if people were less educated, they would tend to be more violent.
Mhm.
Tend to be. Not everyone would be. Obviously, empathy can draw bounds past someone's level of education, but it tends to comport with their level of education, even if they weren't originally empathetic to the rest of the species. If we weren't, like we didn't used to be, we would have killed off most of the people we have now.
Mhm.
I'm saying people have gotten smarter. I love this. It's a meme that I found that basically said it was a book and it had a cover on it, and the title of the book was A Guide to World History for People Who Romanticize the Past.
That's interesting.
I'm a transhumanist. If technology comes out that can vastly improve and is proven to vastly improve the experience of one's life and the length and longevity of one's life, then yes, I'll take advantage of it. I wouldn't force it.
You okay, Kenny?
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. I was saying goodnight to my sister.
Okay. I thought you like fell down or something.
Oh no. Good night, people. Crash. No,
I don't know about that, Justin. It's gonna disturb me tonight.
Okay,
I'm like Justin. I'm not afraid of technology.
I'm not
imagine if
but I think that I don't know. I do believe that there is some sort of free will that we have. Like I think that
do what?
I don't know. I have to think about it more because I'm not sure about that.
Well,
It just scares me. That scares me.
here's my point. It's like this. If you
Who's echoing?
I'm getting
Getting
an
a
echo.
Kenny, is that you?
I have
I have
headphones on.
Oh,
Oh.
is it you?
Why is it even necessary? Why do you need some sort of a thing like that? Like what's like
So you
I don't know. I feel like since I've gotten more into like nihilistic thought, it's made me feel like why are we trying so like what are we working towards anyways? Like what are you trying to do by enhancing yourself in that way? Like just make good choices and why do we need that?
Why do we need?
well, look at it this way.
I don't want to be like anti-progressive, but I don't know. That seems a little.
I'm just saying. I look at it this way. It's us, ourselves, right? It's able to take advantage in all of these regards throughout all of the natural world and do that. Why don't we turn to a tribal way? You could, take regrets it all the way back. We could live as the animals we are. Man, that
I'm getting a really really bad echo.
I know. I'm having a hard time hearing you. Just.
yeah,
Let
it
me
keeps
mute my
making
mic.
me pause. Is it Kenny?
His mic is
Hello.
off.
Yeah, I think it is.
No, it
there
isn't.
it is. No.
This is weird.
Who's the culprit?
Ah,
Oh, I think it's you. Yep.
Did you maybe turn up your mic to
Me? I don't know how to
your
turn.
voice?
I didn't have this before.
Um,
You're in a moderate video call. Okay, got that.
I'll be right
you
back.
got some headphones?
All right.
Settings.
A headset?
I should probably go in a little. I have to wake up really early.
All right.
Sorry.
Why do I look paused? Am I paused?
Do what?
Am I paused? Is it going?
It's going.
For a second, I just saw like a blank screen in my head, so it's like.
I don't know. It seems to got better. No, there it goes again.
I can't fathom where it's coming from. I have a microphone here, and it's the only microphone.
It's not coming from you.
You still think I'm the culprit?
Yeah.
It's fine. No.
I don't know who it is.
It's Kenny.
He's
Kenny's
muted.
got his mic muted.
I'm just putting the blame on Kenny. That's what I'll do. I think I've done anything. Everything is go, man.
No. It just so happens to be that the more we find out, the more comfort we get.
I cannot hear you, Justin.
Oh.
Maybe do the thing you were doing before, like keep your mic up to your mouth. Now you're too close.
I don't know. I think it might be a connection thing.
I'm chilly in here again.
It sounds so weird.
Yeah, look at the snow.
No.
You see how bad it is? Or do you only see your
Justin's
face?
See faces.
Oh yeah, that's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's like really. It's like up to my knees out there.
I wish there
Love
was
the
that
cold,
much
love the
snow
snow.
here.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm from Vermont, so I kind of miss the actual winter. It
I
just
like
kind of
it, but
frost here in Georgia.
it's getting nasty. It's starting to get slushy already. But if you get to that table, like it's all the way up to that table. You see it?
Oh yeah, that's pretty sick.
Where's that table? It's really hard to do with this. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the table like right there.
Yeah.
All the way up. Pretty insane.
But going back to the point of free will that Celeste was making, I have to agree with her, and I have to agree with Justice. And how that is like I have certain dreams and goals that I believe that I have to do, and I should do. Okay, and then my life will not be complete unless I do these certain things. Okay, now I have the free will to choose these dreams and goals, right? Because other people likely have the same ones and they chose to ignore them. I have the free will to choose them. I have the free will to make them my own. But like Justin says, they come from external sources.
Mm-hmm.
They come from things that I've known, things that I've learned, things that I've seen, things that I've taken on because I've seen them from different sources. So I think it's the same thing. Like I agree. I have the free will to do these things, and Justin knows what I'm talking about.
Mhm.
I have the ability, I have the free will to do this. But on the other hand, it comes from external sources.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have the same dreams in the same fashion without those external sources. It would
Even
be
your motivators, even your motivators are taught, and your motivators are taught by external stimulus.
yeah,
Yeah.
but I have the free will to choose these dreams and these goals. Now these are insane goals. These are insane dreams, and that's why most
I
people
don't
have
think
chosen
you
not
have
to follow
to.
them.
What does it mean to choose a goal? Most people, when they live in life, don't choose what they do. They do what they do because they need to do it.
I don't need to do these things. I could very
You
easily
don't?
live my life off of just aquaponics and investing. That's done. A very easy life. And in some ways, I want that. But I have these goals and dreams that I think I have almost in my own mind a responsibility to carry out because I have the motivation, I have the ego in some sense,
Mhm.
and I can dream it. I can dream it. I can visualize it in my head. And that's why I see that as a responsibility. Like because of the fact that I can dream it, I have to do it. But I would love to live the easy life. You know, living out in a small little farm somewhere, my
Why?
aquaponics,
Hold
and
on.
everything
Why?
like that.
Why is it though that you have these particular ambitions? Because we've talked about this before. Your dreams, I understand them, and I know what you want to do. But you only can have particular dreams because you were presented with information containing that avenue, containing that possibility.
Sorry, repeat that.
If you were right now, you wouldn't have had those thoughts or those dreams or inspirations. You may still have had dreams and inspirations, but even those are not of your own.
Hello?
I'm having a bad time getting you, Justin, because you're coming in and out. I'm sorry. Can you repeat
Oh,
that again?
Yeah.
I said that. Oh,
Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back and we'll wrap it up.
What's going on?
we're taking a small break, I guess.
To wrap
Okay.
it up.
Yeah.
But no, it's for me. It's more like no matter what it is in your life, yes, you can still enjoy the ride, but there's no faulting in saying that everything you've ever encountered is not of your own accord.
Right. Like I was
You
saying,
can't
yeah,
choose
I mean,
third party
it
what
comes from
happens.
external
So you
sources.
can't. Yeah.
You know. But I mean, in some ways, in a lot of ways, I would love the easy life. Why do I have to work so hard to achieve those dreams and those goals to make that future possible? Why do I have to work that hard? But on one hand,
Are
I
you
see
guys?
the responsibility
Oh, sorry.
because I can dream it, because I know I can pull it off. I should, but I want to live the easy life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
I don't think we should end it right now, though.
Just,
We should keep going.
whoa.
Happened.
We only really touched on like 2 subjects.
Listen to the
Yeah.
class. You're my roommate. I have to use the bathroom.
Hello.
1 hour.
Let's see here.
But what were we talking about? We were talking about free will. Where I do think you may have free will, if you can call it that, is in the illusion that you must maintain in order to not constantly batter yourself with the fact that, whatever you're doing at any given time wasn't technically your own idea. Because the whole concept of your and I and the individual, is just, it's so illusory. We are a species. We are each specimens of our own, the animal that we are, the creature that evolved to be us. We're no more special than any other creature.
Right.
So anything we do, you know, for whatever people that do it, and for whatever people that get to write the history of it, we'll consider that to be the right thing. It's when we challenge these preconceived notions with things like, a decent sense of ethics, or the ability to understand what harm is, uh, that we tend to make progress as a species. But I don't want to delve down that road again. But it's like free will itself, though, is it's an illusory thing. I mean, it's just as illusory as our sense of identity.
Could maybe free will be changed to the ability to choose instead of? I
Well,
mean,
what I would say this is any choice that you're going to make, you're going to have reasons why you made that choice, correct? And what are those reasons based upon?
Lies.
well, I mean,
Sure.
the reasons could be simply because you want to expose lies. Like, this is impossible, that is impossible, this will never happen,
Yeah,
that will never happen. To break those barriers. You can
yeah.
now, but you could easily, just as easily, live inside those barriers and stay inside those barriers and not choose to live outside them.
No, I'm not
Maybe you
saying
don't have
that.
free
I'm
will
saying
because it deals with that
all.
individual thing, but you do have the choice, the freedom to choose, in a sense.
Not really, though. I mean, you have this illusion of your ability to choose, but before the thought pops into your head, there's several other mechanisms working in your brain all together to formulate this idea in your prefrontal cortex, where you're just like, oh, in your frontal lobes, you're just like, oh, this impulse to make this decision has come about because of several predispositions that I had no choice in. I mean, you can look at that avenue from everything from the food you eat to to what you're, oh, everything, your culture, it's not of your choosing at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I mean, it's difficult to explain that concept because people have apparently thought for so long that every single thing in their life they somehow chose, or if they didn't think that they chose it, they thought something else chose it for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, no, I get that. That's true. I mean, that is true.
Yeah.
maybe I sound retarded, but whatever.
No. You're making sense. I mean, as you're explaining it further, as you're going down the road, I'm getting it. I'm getting what you're saying. It's not, you think it's based off of your own individual choices, but they're based off of things that you experience, things that affect the way you think. It's all the things you take in. It's not necessarily
My
your unique
point is
thought.
no matter how hard you try to escape that, though, is you can't. It's
Hmm.
like no matter where you take your mind, it's an apparent fact. You know, the words that I'm choosing to use right now, apparently choosing. How do I know what these words are?
Yeah, like they're just sounds that come out of your throat, and there's just so much meaning to stuff that you say. I don't know.
I don't know. It's probably a deepity.
So,
No, but personally, I don't believe in free will. Not in the sense that other people do.
Okay. So what do you think about I meant to bring this topic up, but what do you think on the last podcast? But what do you think about David Bowie's death?
never knew the guy.
Well, I
I mean,
mean,
I
I
can't be
never.
I can't be emotionally affected by somebody who I never knew, and even though I like that era of music, I don't really like his music. So I mean, it's sad in some sense, I guess, because you have somebody who was a musical artist. He was very good at what he did. He was very passionate about what he did, and that came out in his music. But I don't really have an emotional connection to the guy.
Yeah, I mean, he made a really big mark. He served his life purpose, basically. Made it really big.
I respect the impact he had on other people's lives.
Yeah.
He influenced
Yeah, tons.
a lot of different things.
Right, and I can respect that, but I can't really say I cried for the guy. You know,
Well, I mean, there's a lot of people who influence a lot of different things, but, you know.
but I admire him, and I respect the fact that he was passionate about what he did, and that in the fact that in what his work, in the consequences his work had. I just like, I mean, I appreciate what his life contributed, but I mean, I can't really say that, like, you know, I'm sad or I'm any way in any shape feeling a certain way.
Yeah. I think he's the last person you need to feel sad for. Like, he lived
He
a
had a
good
decent
life.
You know,
That's all.
when people come to my funeral, I don't want them to say, "Oh, we're sad, Kenny died." I want them to look at my coffin and go, "Fuck, that guy had a good time."
I
Yeah.
mean, he didn't live. It wasn't like lived a decent life. He lived an incredibly fun life.
Exactly.
Yeah, as long as you can say that in the end, as long as you can say that you had a fun life, you killed it, you know, you enjoyed every moment of it, or most moments of it, I think that's good. I'd be happy.
I think it's funny when people say, as long as you can say, like, you know, at the end of your life, this.
As if
I
you're
always think,
aware after you're dead.
yeah, no, it's like that, and also like you're aware the moments up to your actual death. Like, you know, you're gonna lose consciousness before you die most of the time.
At least as long as you're aware on that last good day, you always hear that. People always have that one last good day before they die. It's usually the day before they die. And they're able to, like, they're them old selves again. You know. And
It's because
as long as that day is lived as good as the rest of your life, that's good.
I was gonna say it's because literally your organs, like your liver, are producing enzymes that create cannabinoid structures that literally produce THC into your bloodstream as you die.
Yeah,
Hey.
and that's also why they say don't feed them, don't give them food, because the next day their body's gonna reject it.
That's interesting to know.
The last rebel, but my wife talks about that a lot. She's a CNA, and she talks about how people go through that, like the, the spark of energy, she calls it, and then
What's it called?
she calls it a spark of energy,
Oh, okay.
and then they kill over.
I did not know that. I don't know. Before my papa died, I was like, I googled the sound of death because apparently somebody said he was making the sounds of death. So I was like, what is that sound of death? And it was the death rattle.
Oh
It
God.
was like the creepiest sound I've ever heard. It's like over and over. It's like, oh my goodness, that sounds like living hell.
Yeah.
I don't imagine the process of dying will be fun.
No, I mean, I've seen, like, you. I don't know if anybody's seen the documentary, but it's the right to die. It's they're talking about
Yeah, I want to see that though.
organs proposed. I don't know what happened to it, but organs proposed bill that would let patients end their own lives. And one of the first scenes in that documentary, you get to see somebody literally take their last breath.
Wow.
That's something I've
It
seen.
starts out that powerfully.
See, I find what bothers me more than just seeing someone die is seeing someone die by the hands of another human.
Why? I think, like, what if they want to die that way?
No, in this
Well, the
case,
doctor
it's
chokes
not
the shit out of him.
that way.
What?
It's in these cases where I'm talking about things I've seen on the internet.
Oh,
It's not where somebody wants to die of their own accord.
you're talking about like in the deep web.
No, like die in like the sense of like, oh, I like don't want to go on. Apparently, they commit suicide, or don't want to go on. I have a terminal illness that's going to deplete my mental capacity, and I don't want to put my family through that. You know, but no, it's like I'm talking about. I don't know why, but in my teenage years,
Oh, he's gone.
Oh,
It's the
Justin.
government again. It's the government.
Yeah, they're trying to shut him up. Oh.
Anyone? Did anyone see that Ronda Rousey knockout by Holly Holm?
What is it? Say what you were gonna say, Justin.
Yeah, go ahead. Say what you're gonna say.
alright, but no, it's like, um, fuck. That's what I don't like when that happens.
You were saying as a young person, for
Oh
some
yes, as a
reason.
young person, I went and looked up probably some of the worst fucking death videos ever, um, because of because of Tyler.
Yeah, he fucking mentally scarred me too. I remember.
Yeah, are in
Like,
slaughterhouses.
we watched a bunch of them, but the one that really stuck in my head was one where there was this older man. He was kind of balding and he had black hair, and he was older. I would say like
Old.
I would say like late 40s maybe.
So difficult to
Um,
tell. People age at different rates.
yeah, and he was up on talking on a podium or something, and then he I guess he had friends or people around him that he knew, and he pulled out a gun, and the the people that were in the room were like, "Don't do it, stop!" And then they were trying to get towards him, and he was like, "I'm sorry, but I have to do this," and then he shot himself in the head, and
On a podium.
a bunch of blood going everywhere, and I'm just like, that's the one video that I can never forget out of all the ones I've seen.
There's like four that I can't forget, and a fifth one that was a picture that really fucked my day up. But
I feel like
no,
is gonna fuck me up.
oh no, the fifth one that was a picture. I don't know, but whenever Gaza Strip was being attacked pretty heavily 2 years ago, um, and okay, so I saw a little kid back of their head blown off. Their dad was holding them, and he was like crying,
Yeah.
like bawling, like lost his mind, like anyone would.
Yeah.
And that just fucked me up, dude. Like fucked me up.
Yeah.
Like fuck, like I could not function.
Yeah.
You imagine yourself in that situation in some ways. You kind of take on that
Yeah,
person's
you have to.
pain.
Well, I've been there. I mean, my uncle passed away pretty much right in front of me. He was sick and he died, and then my mother died of a brain aneurysm, and I was there. It it really does hurt a lot, and it's pretty traumatic.
People can get PTSD from that stuff. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it can fuck some white people up pretty badly.
Okay, one other one that fucked with me really bad was this girl jumped from a really, really tall building and she hit the concrete and it's like, and it's
Dude,
not like the
that
sound you expect it to make. It's just not totally different sound.
yeah, that I saw one of those, and those are one that I can't forget. It was I don't know where it was, but it wasn't in the United States. It was like in
And there
maybe
was one,
China or Korea or somewhere
yeah,
a bunch of Asian people,
yeah.
and this woman jumped out of a really tall building, and when she landed, it was weird because like most of her bones broke, and she was kind of like this human like pancake.
Bag.
Yeah, it was weird.
Oh, I can't even imagine what that was.
Yeah.
And then there's another one, and this was somewhere in Africa. I want to say it's Nigeria, but I could be totally wrong. I haven't. It's been a while since I went and looked that one up because I don't feel like watching it.
Yeah, why would you?
But is this man and this woman and this other woman were being kicked into a burning pile of leaves by other people in their village. You seen that one?
Was he amputated?
What?
Did he have no legs?
What?
Did he have no legs in the video? Because that's the one that I saw. He was like completely He had no legs, and he was being like burnt alive by these other.
No,
Okay.
this guy had legs. He was just being continuously kicked into the fire, and then he eventually gave up. Like I saw him give up, and he just died. Like I was
The
like,
only death
what?
video I've seen is one that is Saddam's hanging.
I saw that one too.
He was letting every single person there know that he was upset with the situation. He was bitching he was bitching up until the point where they hung him. He was if you look at that video. That was the only besides the Oregon documentary. That was the only one. I don't go Adam. I've never really gone out of my way to look at death videos. But the odd thing is that like today it's a lot easier. Like it's so much easier to see those videos, like especially like the cop killing videos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's so much easier to see people die by gunshot wounds. It's more accessible. You don't have to go down to the deep web in order to find these videos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and another picture that I can't forget is I saw the autopsy photo of Robin Williams. Have you seen that one?
No.
No. Don't want to if it's gonna fuck up my.
It's pretty disturbing, but like it's
Why?
Because it was really tight on his neck and his head. It was weird. It was almost like his head was like this and his neck was like really small, and you could see where the belt just like.
Ooh.
Kind of like Bart Simpson, when his father always chokes him.
His eyes weren't like bulging out or anything, so I don't know how long he was like that. So probably not that long.
Guys, I feel like I'm gonna get shit, but like, you guys aren't disturbed by animal rights or like the conditions of slaughterhouses. Like,
I'm disturbed by it
are you
personally
vegan?
to some degree.
Are you vegetarian?
I'm vegan, yeah.
I said vegetarian, but you're vegan.
Yeah.
I don't like it, but also the thing I don't like the most about it is how much gets wasted.
Yeah, it's like to consume like 1 pound of meat is like so much energy is put into that 1 pound of meat, so much water usage. Like, if you're concerned with like any ethical issues in the world, that's the first thing that you should cut out of your diet is meat and dairy, because it really uses so much stuff. It's really interesting for the environment.
That's why I've looked really extremely hard into growing my own food and managing my own food.
Yeah, Kenny, I was going to ask you, what was that thing that you were talking about, like aqua something?
Aquaponics is basically where you use fish waste to there's nitrates in it. They produce nitrates, and you use the fish waste to grow the plants in water. It uses less water than horticulture, and the plants filter the water for the fish. So basically, it's a closed system, and you occasionally have to add water, but it doesn't take as much water as conventional growing in the ground or horticulture. And you can grow a variety of vegetables close together, and all you do is you use the fish waste to grow the vegetables.
Wow.
Yeah, and so but you eat the fish. That's the thing. The fish is your food, as well as the plants. That's why I could go veg. I tried going vegan, and I ate legumes. I ate different kinds of protein beans and everything like that. I felt lethargic. I couldn't. It wasn't something my body accepted. So but I didn't want to go. I didn't want to support factory farming. And though I am in some ways in supportive of the hunt your own meat movement in some ways, I don't support factory farming. And don't get me wrong, I don't see nature as this innocent thing, because chickens will eat they'll eat mice, they'll eat each other, they eat bugs. I mean they
eat each other if they're in like really close conditions.
Chickens.
Actually, one thing that's really interesting that was posted, or Temple Graydon speaks about it, is the way that we breeded chickens nowadays are like causing male chickens to kill the female chickens, because in the past female chickens used to like raise their butts up so that they could be impregnated, or I guess fertilized.
Ready.
Yeah, so they could get ready basically. And now that they're not doing that, the roosters are getting more upset by the process and they're killing the chickens. So we've kind of caused a lot of these issues more than anything.
Yeah, which is why like in the future I was talking about having my own farm. It was
Okay.
raising chickens for eggs. It was um, obviously having the fish from my aquaculture, and obviously having the variety of vegetables from the aquaponics garden. So I could go vegetarian, but I can't go vegan. I need those sources of fats you can't normally find with a pure vegan diet, and I don't and soy doesn't react well with me.
I don't know. For me, like, I was feeling lethargic for a while, but I always take the B12 supplement sprays.
Yeah, see that's the thing. I don't see something as a natural diet when you have to take supplements. Okay, it's not a natural diet to me.
The B12 supplement. Everything else I get through.
But
Like,
you
I eat tons of salad. Like, the best thing about it is that I'm not able to eat bad food necessarily, because a lot of the food that you get, like, I don't eat a lot of processed food. I don't eat things that are in boxes or like that come with a lot of like packaging, which like as a vegan you typically can't. It's not normally provided.
well, the odd thing is that like if you were to eat those processed pastas, you wouldn't have to take the B12 supplements because it exists inside that.
Yeah, some of them do.
Yeah, and I mean like I get the whole thing behind
And it's not,
killing of
yeah, I'm
animals.
not against that completely. The only reason why is because I'm trying not to buy things that have like that are going to increase waste. I just try to like.
And the thing like I never got, and the thing like with the vegan thing is the vegan is not just eating. It's not just a diet. It's a whole entire lifestyle. It's a whole entire lifestyle choice. It's not just a diet. I don't see vegan as just a diet. I mean, you have what you wear. You can't use honey.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
huh?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but people have found a way. Like there's a new type of beehive. And I shared it on my Facebook. There's a new type of beehive where you don't have to remove the hive anymore in order to get the honey. Basically, there's artificial combs, and the bees will fill it with wax and everything like that. They'll fill it with the honey, and then when you're ready, you just turn this little spout, and then basically the manufactured honey I forget what it's called, the clothes or something like that. The plastic moves and the honey drains out without harming the bees. So you
Hmm.
don't have to take the bees aren't disturbed. And then you basically just turn the nozzle back, and it creates the cones again, and it's a non-invasive way to get honey.
Hmm.
So I mean, I'm always the person who I find a way. I don't want to be the invasive person.
Like, why
That's
is
the
it even
waste.
necessary in the first place? Like, why do we need honey so badly? Why can't
It's a natural sweetener.
It tastes good.
it's sustainable? It's good for you. You get grade B maple syrup or grade A maple syrup. Like, you're not harming the environment. Like, right now, I don't know. Like, I haven't studied much on the reasons why I shouldn't be consuming honey, but I know that like we need honeybees in order to survive, basically, and that's where a lot of the issues come in.
Well, you can use flies instead of bees, because they pollinate just as much. But like yes, you do need bees, and it's a good thing that vegans don't use honey because conventional honey. What happens is that when they get the honey, they have to take the hive. They have to break the hive apart. They have to smoke the bees out. Which stresses the bees out, and they also don't care whether or not they kill the bees in the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there is a very good argument, and you also have that type of it's agave or agave or something like that. It's a type of artificial sweetener that comes from plants.
Yeah.
And you have that. So I mean, there is certain reasons why you can go vegan, but I can never go vegan because it's a lifestyle.
Mhm.
That's why I look at vegetarianism because I still get eggs and I still get cheese and I still get everything like that. But I have also looked into ways to raise the animals where basically they don't they're not suffering. They're not. I don't because I don't want that. I see the legitimacy in that argument of not making animals suffer. Despite the fact that I know that once an animal dies, it's unaware of all the abuse that happened before.
Yeah.
So,
I don't know.
but I do get the whole point of not taking up the resources of 5 people to please yourself. I get that point. So I mean, I definitely understand that as far as like no factory farming, no factory
Even with
vegetables.
being a vegetarian, you're still supporting all of the things that you were initially against. Like, many people are like, "Oh, what's wrong with eating dairy?" Because you're not actually harming the cow, and it's like You are, though. It's like living a life in very small confines, and to produce milk, obviously, it's like pregnant or it's going to have a baby, and then they take the baby away, and
Well,
you
see,
know,
that's
supporting
the
the jail market, like it's still
I
very
mean,
emotional. It's still something that they feel like.
the thing is about that is that I'm not supporting that because I have my own system. I have my own farm. You know, I can control the living quarters. There would be no living quarters unless they went into the barn at night. Okay, you know what I'm saying? That's
Hmm.
what I'm saying. Like, I would support my own self. That's why I have my own aquaponic garden. That's why I would have my own chickens. That's why I would have because I can control their environment.
Yeah.
I, you know, but not everyone's going to do that. Not everyone's going to take that extra step.
Hmm.
So like I understand. So I mean,
I
my
mean,
choice
not
is
everybody can.
not
Yeah.
everybody can, right? Yeah, not everybody can.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've looked into ways to self sustainability where I basically produce enough for myself, enough for my family, without having outside factors.
Hmm.
You know, and so I mean, I get so I completely get even though
Yeah. It's an interesting
I still eat
alternative.
even though I still eat meat, I understand the alternative. I understand completely the argument of
Hmm.
the amount of resources it takes. The fact that tons of fertilizer are washed down the Mississippi River and out into the ocean every year, growing
Yeah.
alfalfa, hay, and everything like that to support cattle that we don't really need.
Hmm.
So I mean, I understand the arguments.
Yeah. Yeah. There's so many issues with it. I think that's the most disturbing thing, like that we could ever have to come to terms with, is that our world is like actually it's like the end of the world. The issues that we're going through. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, guys, I should probably go to bed because my roommate is sleeping and I've been kicked into the bathroom. So I should probably,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's all right.
yeah, she's in her sleep and she goes to bed really early. So.
I really appreciate that you coming on to the podcast, though.
Yes,
Well, I
thank you for
can
coming
listen
on.
in on you guys more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was nice talking to you guys. I'll add you on Facebook, Kenny.
Yes, thank you.
Me
Appreciate it.
too. I don't know if I have you on Facebook. Wow. All right, bye guys. Have a
See
Good
good
ya.
night.
one.
Thanks
I'll
for
see
coming
you.
on.
Bye.
That was cool.
You're kind of low, Justin. Let me turn you up.
Oh, I didn't realize he was talking.
Yeah, it's kind of low.
Sorry if I interrupted you, man.
Huh?
I got off of my phone. It kept cutting out.
Okay. But I think I'm gonna head out too because I am exhausted and I have to work tomorrow. It was all right. A lot of technical difficulties, but I think we had a pretty good podcast.
Yeah.
I just want to say Donald Trump is really, really dumb. I don't know why people want to vote for him.
It's because people give him attention. I think
Yeah.
if we really make everyone feel the burn, by continuously bringing up Bernie, I think that will change it. It's because people give Trump legitimacy because they give him airtime, because they give him the ability that they pass on that the idea that
Well, I mean,
he's important.
he pays for all the airtime, right? Or he gets other people to pay for it.
Well, it's not hard because you
Yeah.
have media companies who go after clicks and go after likes and go after comments. Okay, so I mean like anything that gets them a click on, anybody gets them to view their station, that's how they get their advertising allocation as far as like how much money advertising firms will give them. So
Yeah.
by making sure everyone feels the burn, as am I saying that right, Justin?
Yeah, feel the burn, whatever. I like to make up my own one, like burn one and prosper, like from Star Trek, or May the burn be with you in Star Wars. Uh,
Long live the burn and feel the burn.
I say burn one and prosper because one of his plans is to decriminalize and legalize marijuana recreationally on a federal
The only
level.
thing that has to change is you have to change insurance laws, which tell companies they have to drug test for that. So he can decriminalize all he wants to, but technically, and even in Colorado, this is an issue. People will still get fired for testing positive.
No, it needs to be made legal on a federal level, and legal is such that it's a right.
It's a
That you
right, but
can do.
But insurance companies still dictate that companies who provide healthcare for the people,
Mhm.
if they fail that marijuana drug test, they still have to fire them. And that's what happened in Colorado. You had somebody who was disabled who was smoking it for pain purposes, and
Mhm.
he got fired, and he tried to sue them, and it was upheld in court because of the fact that insurance laws dictated that be the case. So Bernie can
That has
legalize it.
nothing to do with legality.
It's not only legality, but the insurance laws will stay in place.
Yes, but
He has to change insurance laws as well as
yeah,
criminal
and that
laws.
can be tackled.
Yeah, yeah.
All right,
Like,
guys.
the whole point of this revolution is for us to take back our rights. When I say our rights, I mean actually take back our ability to use them. Um,
Feel the burn. Damn it, feel the burn.
Thank you. Thank you guys for coming.
No problem.
Thank you, YouTube, for watching. If you watched this whole train wreck of a podcast, actually, it was pretty good.
Yes.
Just technical things here and there.
cutting it out.
But with that said, like, comment, and subscribe. All that good stuff.
And comment, subscribe,
And
like,
You know you want to.
and
Love
share,
us. Love
um,
us. Do
and
it.
subscribe.
we'll see you. Oh, one quick announcement.
Balls.
On my channel, I'm really trying to set up a giveaway or contest of some sort soon. So if you were watching my unboxing videos, it's on there. We're just trying to get stuff together right now to put together into a package, and then we'll figure out some way to do a giveaway or a contest of some sort, or both. So just and subscribe all of our stuff. Comment. We need more comments. Nobody comments on our videos ever.
Cool.
They
Yep.
can't argue with us. That's the reason why.
That's it. All right, guys. We'll see you.
I'm sure that's not it. But...
We'll see you guys next time. Bye.